Okay, we want to create a game from scratch. What happens if you select a new 3D game? This is the 3D environment that you can create your game. For better seeing that, I make grass and make it to custom texture and give a darker color to bottom. First, we can begin to the mind map. In a mind map, it is a start. When everything starts, we need to this start. This is a start. If you click on this pencil here or double click on any node, you can go inside that. This is a mind map default 3D. That here you can create any 3D world that you want. Right click, add 3D world. That you have to go to the Pro version for this feature. So if you click any node here, we have sitting in this part and some design. You can drag and drop 3D world or 2D world in 3D world. In this case, you have to only 3D world or 2D world. UI screen, that if you go to the start, if you game over, if you want to pause your game, you have to create a UI for that, and you can create your image, background, your button in it. But it doesn't start. If game start, what happened then? You can connect this node together. If I start, you can assign a music to your game, simply music, or it's loop and loop. It's very simple. You can drag and drop any MP4, MP3 game music and release them, and you can play this. And then you can edit it. If you insert a lots of sound, you can choose them, or you can close it. If you start and it's go to the 3D world and play the game. This is a start. If you double click, you go to a start page. That you can drag and drop your logo here within buildbox, because I use a free version. It's locked and you cannot delete that. If you search, this is simple. You don't have any node, you don't have any object in the outliner, but you have simple image that you can drag and drop your logo here or any other image. Okay, for example, I can insert my logo directly here. Drag and drop. Oh, we cannot drag and drop it here. You have to drag and drop your logo on this image part. If you select your logo, and boom, your logo comes there. If you want to insert another image, you have to select this, go into the sprite editor, and from here you can drag and drop lots of image here. For example, this background, again image, or this road, again image, and then select any of them from here. Nice. Let's save. So you can drag and drop image from here. You can assign your logo here, and if we start the game, start and then go to the game. Okay, if you don't want to immediately go to the game, you have to create an start UI. I will explain it. Just I want to explain a start and 3D world. I will explain how the process of how to make in game. Okay, this is an image. This is a simple image that you can change it, change the position, change the rotation. You can see you can change the scale of that for uniformly changing the scale, holding shift. And yeah, here you can rotate it in any angle or degree that you want. You can change the opacity of that. This is an image. You can drag and drop any image here, or you can add another background of that. Because this is a start, you don't need to background to that. auto hide and stitch to the scale and additive blending. I will be explaining it in another UI. This isn't just simply create logo and then suddenly go to the another UI. You can close it this Okay, you're going to the mind map, and I don't like to immediately go to the 3D world. So click and drag and release, or I think you can select it and delete. No, you cannot delete that. You can drag and drop, or click and drag and release it to disconnect the start and 3D world here. Let's play. I think we haven't got an issue. Yeah, as you can see, the start and it does not go to 3D world. So I want to go to the start UI. So from here, we have just 3D world, 2D world, and UI. UI screen, drag and drop UI screen, or right click, add new UI. This is an UI screen. So from start, I want to go to the UI screen. I rename it to a start. I name it a start UI, user interface. Enter start UI. The game start and load to the UI start. Double click. If you select that, you can add monetization or advertisement to that. That's I will explain it later, or you can search internet. The buildbox company has lots of interesting. I don't want to begin with this, but from here another music. This isn't just if you select a music and drag and drop music in a start UI, you can listen just music at the start UI. And if you select the 3D world, we have lots of sitting here. So in a start UI, double click to going inside. You can see it's empty, and the game start, and we come here and we want to tell this is our name our game name, and then click start. So we want to drag and drop image here. You can directly drag and drop image from here. You can select that. This is our background. Drag and drop. You can see you can insert as an image or as object image. Boom. This is our background, and this is an again image. You can resize it, move it, change position, rotation. You can change opacity and stick to the edge. It's very important. If you have a button, turn it on. If the size of your mobile is changing, it completely stick to the edge, and it does not. For example, we have a navigation button, and this is our button. You can see. Oh, you can see in the outliner we have a hierarchy like a Photoshop. It's bringing at the back. You can right click and bring it to the front. Right click on it and send it to the backbar, or you can simply click and drag it to change the hierarchy of your. For example, this is our navigation button. I will be explaining more, but this is an image. And additional blending I will be explaining now with my logo. You can insert it. This is an TC logo. Again, you can drag and drop as an image. And this is our logo. Bring it from drag and drop at the higher hierarchy to the higher object in this list shown on top of all. You can resize it and reposition it, stick to the edge, and additional blending. If you turn it on, you can see if you play after a start, we are going to the UI, and you can see this isn't all blending. It's like a blending option. It's change the glow setting of the image and combining your image with the glow setting and changing. You can. It's a blending option. Blend two images together. If you see Photoshop, we have a glow blending, I don't know, a lot of saturation blending or something like that. So this is our image setting. That's nice. Or you can assign any image from here. Okay, just a little button that I want to explain in here to go to the word. It's a navigation button. You can right click and make it higher to better seeing that. Right click to change the size of your large icon or medium. Navigation button. Drag and drop it here. This is a navigation button. If you don't have any navigation button, delete that. And if you go to the 3D world node mind map, you can see you're from the start, we are connecting to the UI start, and we cannot go into our world. The navigation button create an output here that we can connect, go and navigate to our 3D world. Double click to start UI, and we need a navigation button here. You can change the graphic of that, any graphic that you want. I will be explaining more all of it. This is a navigation button. Function is default. You can change pause, back, reverse, anything that you want. But this is a navigation button. Simple navigation. Just tell to click this. For telling someone click this, you need a font. Drag and drop font. I explained it. The font label, text. Just tell click to play. Nice. Click to play. Enter to, and then you can add your font editor. Going to change the font, any font that you want. I explained it before. Going to the tool and font editor, and you can add your font. For example, my font 1, and change the main color to that. Or draw a shadow, yeah, and that's okay. This is my font, and you can click it here and go to the font and change my font number 1. I will explain it later. Or of course, stick to the edges if it's sticking in position and does not go. For example, in this, if you change the size of your mobile, it does not go. This issue is completely stick to edges like this. It's very important. Click to play and done. If you go to the mind map, you can see we have a go navigation button here. Then we can connect it to the double click and select that navigation button. You can go to tell it go to 3D world. You can rename it, go to the 3D world to better understanding that. And if the player click that, it's go to the 3D world. But you have to connect it. Click and drag to connect to the load. And now it's done. After the start, we go into start, and then we can go to the 3D world. And click to play. Boom. We are going to the 3D world. Simple. Okay. And so you can add a music to your, if you want to add music in a start UI, you can add a music here and loop in and loop it again, or you can play it once if you want. And if you select the 3D world, we have a lots of important setting here. You can change the 3D world any number here. Important thing is the gravity. If you go to your 3D world, you can see this is an blue green one. Green one is green axis is y axis, red is x axis, and blue is z axis. And the gravity is negative y. It's a negative y. The positive y in this direction, negative is this direction. And if you play if you rotate it, you can see your object will be fall down because of gravity. Play and boom. This is on gravity. Going to the start UI, mind map, select it, and because of the gravity, if you want to, for example, create a game underwater or something like that, you can give a smaller number of gravity, or if you want, you can add gravity, for example, in the X direction. It's let's test it, because you can control X and make it a 0, and gravity in X direction 5. And then if you play, you can see the object goes in this direction because of gravity in X. Negative 9.8 is regular in all the world. Next, scene threshold and delete scene threshold. Look at this. For example, I'm in an Affinity Designer, and you can see my tutorial about Affinity Designer in my channel. It's very interesting software like Photoshop and Illustrator. This is scene number 1, and this is scene number 2, and this is our player. And the threshold is this. The character wants go from level 1 to level 2. Okay, it's deleting for better quality, for higher game mobile, or anything that you want. For example, you are using if you want to have a lighter version of your game, the software deleting the render, the properties, everything behind this object in this part of the character is moving this back of the character, deleting. The software tell you, okay, I think it's in a pixel, delete scene threshold at the back of my character. If the character, and for example like this, the character and its zone are moving in this direction, going, and it's delete this part of scene to better quality your game. And it does not render. For example, you have 1000 level, it does not rendering and calculating 1000 scene for you. It's creating the scene, just the area that you want. For example, if you want, you can select that. If you want, you can make, for example, this part, it's render and creating this part, or this part of whole area, not this part of the area, not whole area. And you can define a next scene threshold. It's create 3000 pixel, for example. I think, yeah, it's pixel front, at the front of the character, not whole scene. So you can use that. Background color, you can select any color to your background. And if you go to the 3D world, sorry, you have to render it or make it a preview to see that. And here, this is our background. This is our floor, don't forget. And this is the sky, the background color that you can change. Any number that you want. Fog, you can add fog to your scene. I will show you that. Scene randomize if you want. If you don't want, you can use I think it's a de-align scene or randomize scene. You can turn it on or off from here also. Grid size, if you go to the 3D world, we have a grid size 2x2. You can change it, for example, 5 in x-axis. You can go to 3D world, you can see we have 5 in x-axis. You can change the grid size if you want. Time warp is how much fast your game, and the steps is calculating the physics for you. I will show you in this game. Going to recent Twisted Road 2, and this is my Twisted Road 2. You can play it. As you can see, we have a lots of scene, and the game just for example calculate the scene in this part. You can see if you want to make your game more interactive and interesting, you, for example, create a fog in this distance from the camera or the player. I don't know, but if you go to mind map, and you can see in the 3D world, we have a fog distance. I make it actually 0 to better understanding from the start distance. I think it's beginning from the camera or the character. I don't know, but it's I think in the character. I change it to distance is far from your camera or your character, or I change it to lower number to see my fog. It's the end distance of the fog. Now you can see this is an our fog, and we cannot see uh, the further this far objects, and this is more interesting. Let's make it lower number 1,000 play. Now we have seen more interesting and secret thing that we cannot see far object, and it's depend on your game. Now so it's very hard. You have to change this distance to make it your desired number. So in randomize and time warp. For example, I want to make this game faster, and you can give a higher number to make your game faster to the whole world of your scene. Now we can see this isn't fast. If you set sub step 0, it means the physics calculate once, and if you set it a higher number, physics calculates more, and you have higher quality of game. It's better. For example, you have an object has an physics and fall down, and it has physics and action, and its gravity absorb it in ground, and it's fall down and hits other object, and physics calculates once, and it's bad. So I think 3 in this game is better. Or if you have a more game that has more object to collide with each other, I think you can give a higher number to that, to better quality, to better calculation of the physics. And that's it. Okay, this is our suddenly you can reply. I will be explaining more this node-based system. Okay, this is an word 3D word setting, and then going to the next lesson to give other information about the games.